York. I'm a barrister, I'm a law lecturer, and I'm the secretary of the registry, the DFIB registry. Thank you very much for gathering here today. It's a very special occasion. We are launching the AEDDR registry and guidelines. Now that stands for the Automated External Defibrillator Deployment Registry and Guidelines. So I hope you don't mind if I call it the DFIB registry from here on. Welcome to our VIPs. I'm now going to acknowledge in no special order of venerability or affection the Honourable Mr Bill Shorten. He's had to duck out, but he will be back shortly. The Honourable Senator Erica Betts, the Federal Shadow Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations and Leader of the Opposition in the Senate, and all the Honourable Members of Parliament who have made time to attend today, in particular my local federal member, the Honourable Mr Paul Fletcher. Thank you for attending. The members of the Cardiac Arrest Survival Foundation who are here, Mr Nick Harris, I believe is here. I haven't actually spotted him yet, but he's representing AEDDR Legal. Mr Nick Harris. Yeah, he's up for that then. Thanks, Nick. And Mr Ivan Simic from Taylor & Scott Solicitors. And thank you all for coming. You're all VIPs in my book. You're all very special people. I also have chosen not to mention the apologies because we're at a very busy time of year, but I do have a comprehensive list here if you'd like to inspect it afterwards. Can I mention that the CEO of Workplace Australia, Rex Boy, sends his apologies. Today we launched the registry and the guidelines which will make DFIB units in Australia reliable and able to save lives. That's the purpose of this registry and that's the purpose of these guidelines, to save lives. We'll be hearing more on that from our speakers. What I'm going to do, we've got 3 speakers today. They won't speak for very long, but the topic they're going to talk about, they're going to give you different aspects to this important topic, just so you come away with a very strong understanding of what it's about. Australia is a very laid-back nation, but we do have high standards, and if you've ever travelled overseas, you'll see that how we treat human life is in a very special way. Before I start with our speakers, can I show you 3 graphs? If you just look at the first graph over on the left there, you'll notice that of all the causes of death in Australia, cardiac arrest is the, let me point to it with my laser pointer, which is a finger. Cardiac arrest actually leads the pack, so northern prostate, bowel, breast cancer, and well ahead of road deaths, and well ahead of structural fires. And that's interesting because you might ask why, and you'll notice that in every building, every structure has sprinklers, and they've actually taken measures to bring the death rate down. Some of you might think it's quite extraordinary that if cardiac arrest leads the pack in that way, ahead of those other causes of death, why doesn't it have the same profile? Why doesn't it have, the special days set aside and the celebrity events? And that's actually a correct impression. What we're doing today is saying that there should be appropriate attention paid to cardiac arrest deaths. So what today is the start of the process about giving that appropriate attention. And if you look at the second chart, this indicates your chances of survival from cardiac arrest. Across the bottom of the graph are the minutes to defibrillation. So you see that with each minute, there's a 10% drop in chances of survival. Does that make sense? Is that clear? That means that with every minute that elapses from the time of the patient collapsing to the time that the DFIB unit is put on the patient, their chances of survival are dropping rapidly. So every minute counts. So yes, someone should go off and call an ambulance, but you who are first on the scene should have a DFIB unit with you. That's critical. If you want to give that life the best chance of survival, you need to have that DFIB unit and get it working. Someone else will take care of the paramedics. They might take 20 minutes or half an hour to arrive. In the meantime, you've given up your advantage. So every minute is critical if you want to save a life. Okay, now let's have a look at this third chart. This is indicating what the average probability of failure of AEDs or DFIB units are. These are the monitored ones and these are the standalone ones. So these are the units that you just buy them off the shelf, put them on the wall, set and forget, and don't worry about them. And hopefully the day that you need to use them, the electrodes will be working, the batteries won't have run down. Chances are though that will have happened and it will not be reliable. I won't preempt our speakers, but you'll hear about the probability of failure of standalone DFIB units. Now, if you look at the difference here, the monitored ones have a much better success rate. So if they're monitored on a 24/7 basis, you know that the electrodes are going to work, you know that the batteries are being checked, the chances of that unit working when it's required are much, much higher. Okay. A recent article in the Wall Street Journal, which is available to you today, described how defib units mushroomed across the American nation, which is very good, but two things became obvious. Firstly, people couldn't find them at the critical moment. So you might have a person collapse and 2 feet away there'd be, you're in a cafe, for example, 2 feet away there would be a defib unit, but it's hidden behind the pot plant and no one knew it was there. So it's a tragedy, that one of these Shakespearean ones where there's a fatal flaw in the system and everyone had the goodwill and the good intentions, if you like, to have a unit there, but it was not able to be used. And it just doesn't sound very good in the coronial inquiry that there was a defib unit 2 feet away that wasn't used. Now, if they had the good luck to find the defib unit, it must be able to work. And the best way of ensuring that it can work is to have it a monitored unit. Does that make sense? Okay. So any standalone unit which fails to perform is actually regarded as a totally avoidable death. In this particular article, the researchers at Pennsylvania University observed that the government sector was better managed than the private sector. So if you were to translate this locally, if you were in Parliament House or in Russell offices, for example, your chances of survival would be greater than if you were out in Civic, in a shopping mall. Okay, so what the registry will do is it will firstly identify where the defibs are, so it will find out where they are, and secondly, it will ensure that they are of a standard which is useful and will save lives, that they'll be good to go, they will be reliable. Because that's the whole purpose of today's exercise. It's about saving lives.